What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show, The Michael Geza Show. Your host, Michael Geza. Now, you guys are probably wondering, what am I doing here? What is happening, everybody? We love you guys. You guys are amazing. LOL, what up? The Garza Show is here, man. We're here for you. We're here to give you the best potential coverage of the Iran war and try to understand what the hell's going on. Truth be told, sometimes, I mean, look, the public can't know every single operation that's happening behind the scenes. And to all the people who say Trump didn't go into this with a plan, first off, he has a plan. You don't go into war without a plan. Second, Trump is not going to put his entire playbook out on display for the world to see. That would be stupid. So to the left, I say you guys are morons. To the left, by the way, rest in peace, Chuck Norris. Shout out to Chuck Norris, one of the greatest martial artists we've ever seen. I watched a lot of his martial arts movies back in the day. Chuck Norris, in a lot of ways, is very inspirational, and I think he's a great role model for children and even adults. I think even as an adult, you should have role models. You're never too old to have a role model, in my opinion. Just want to say that right now. But no, I really am a huge fan of Chuck Norris, and he lived a good life, though. He lived a very long life. He passed away at the age of 86. He had a medical emergency, unfortunately. But yeah, Donald Trump is one of my favorite dudes. No, sorry. Chuck Norris is one of my favorite dudes. And he'll be missed, for sure. I mean, he's a big staple of the martial arts community. So rest in peace, Chuck Norris, man. I think often a lot of my exposure to Chuck Norris was watching these $5 DVDs that my buddy Nathan and we got from Walmart. We love those movies. I mean, they were cheesy as shit, like President's Man 1, 2, and 3. I remember the President's Man movies. I think they were pretty cool. Obviously, they were lower budget. They were like lower budget martial arts movies. And to be honest, I thought they were dope as shit, dude. I thought they were so fucking cool. So, rest in peace, Chuck. Incredible human being. Just awesome, man. Yeah, Chuck Norris is amazing, man. He's one of my faves. It's like I said, it's a shame, man. It's a shame. But yeah, huge shout out to Chuck Norris, though. Like I said, he's really one of the greatest martial artists alive. And anyway, though, and if I remember correctly, I think he was also a Trump supporter. So hell yeah. So my man was also mega. But anyway, we're going to react to a few things. Give me a few moments to put up the screen. Yeah, I want to thank you all for joining. This will be like probably roughly a 2-hour, probably like a 2-hour live stream. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button, though. in the upper right-hand corner. We're currently sitting pretty at 9,087 subs. We're almost to 9,100. So I appreciate each and every single one of you guys for being part of the show. Yeah, man, we're killing it. We're killing it in the world of YouTube. So give me just a few moments. Yeah, what Iran has done, they executed a few people again. They just keep executing their own citizens because they're a piece of shit. The regime is a piece of shit. It pisses me off to no end. And it just seems that the Iran war keeps escalating and escalating and escalating a little further. If Trump sees this through, Iran will fall pretty soon. Let's take a look at this.
To the conflict in Iran. Apparently, Trump derangement syndrome is so bad on the left that the legacy media mob, Democrats...
The left is rooting against America. They always are, dude. Dude, it's so crazy that the left is willing to side with the Iran dictatorship over there. It's so insane to me. But then again, the left is the definition of insanity these days. And it's crazy to me.
Other so-called liberals, they are rooting for America to lose. These lunatics who constantly drape themselves in virtue are now
the leftist loonies, dude.
Rooting for a regime in Iran that murders protesters, throws gay people off of tall buildings, and tortures women.
Hey, thank you so much for tapping the subscribe button. No, we're currently sitting pretty at 9,088 subscribers. We're only 12 subscribers away from hitting 9,100, man. We're getting closer and closer every day to hitting the 10,000 subscriber mark. You guys have helped this show become an independent media icon. And for that, I want to thank you. And the more subscribers we get, the more we get taken seriously on YouTube, I guess. But we've grown, man. This show has grown at a rapid scale. Let's keep going, man.
To death if their hair is not completely covered in public and for other reasons. Don't take my...
Yeah, Annie, it blows my mind that anybody could defend Iran. Absolutely, man. It's good to see you on here, Annie. Annie's an incredible human being from Canada. Total... oh, yeah, that's right. I got to share this on Twitter. I've been trying to share this on X as much as possible because whenever I share it on X, it does seem to get a little more traction, which is always a nice thing. Bloop, 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 bloop. There we go. Okay, I posted it to X. That'll be good. That helps a little bit. Yeah, sharing the stream to... Anytime I share the live stream to X or any of the platforms, it does seem to do better, at least to some degree. Which, that's the way. I pretty much use X to advertise my YouTube channel at this point.
Word for it. You know, after it took just 2 weeks to completely destroy Iran's Navy, Air Force, air defenses, and degrade its missiles and drones by 90%, well, here's how the media mob spun it over at ABC. Quote, even as Iran has been pummeled by Israeli and American airstrikes, with its military capabilities greatly diminished, Tehran continues to demonstrate resolve both in adapting and expanding its military tactics. Could they tell us who might be in charge of that? And here's Time Magazine, quote, Trump may radicalize regime rather than topple it, according to the experts. Most of the radicals are now dead. Fake news.
Yeah, even, by the way, Trump, how the hell is Trump the radical ones are the entire leadership. The entire mother effing leadership in Iran has basically crumbled, man. If anything, you've allowed the citizens to potentially topple this terrible, terrible regime. You've given these citizens of Iran hope that they no longer have to live under a dictatorship. So I support Donald Trump wholeheartedly, man. I'm all on board with him, man.
CNN, quote, 7 reasons why Trump hasn't won the Iran war. It barely started. And I don't even...
Yeah, it's not like, first off, it's not like it's not like this war's lasted a year. This war has literally lasted weeks. And the majority of Iran has been completely toppled. Iran's cooked. Iran is absolutely cooked.
I don't even know if you'll call it a war, but a massacre. And of course, the
Oh, it's a massacre, all right.
New York Times, who didn't seem to notice the historically high gas prices under Joe Biden, even getting as high as $5 a gallon, are now impacted.
Oh, yeah. By the way, nobody talks about the fact that Joe Biden, under his watch, allowed the Ukraine-Russia war, in my opinion. I firmly believe he allowed that to happen at a certain point. Yeah, nobody trusts Joe Biden, by the way. Nobody likes Joe Biden. I will say that I trust Donald Trump more than I trust Joe Biden, mainly because I look at Joe Biden's children, Hunter Biden, for example, and realize that I don't think Joe Biden was actually a good father. I don't think Joe Biden was a good father. I look at Trump's kids and they all seem like they're pretty well adjusted. You know? I look at Donald Trump's kids and I'm like, oh, dude, they grew up to be pretty cool dudes. They grew up to be decent men because Donald Trump is actually, believe it or not, a good role model. Sorry. So, yeah, I look at Joe Biden and I think, dude, Joe Biden is a terrible father.
Panic mode. Quote, oil shock sends tremors through world economy. This really is the big one. And look at this headline. The United Nations has already declared that Iran's nuclear program will live on in perpetuity. It's been 3 weeks. Iran's government, their military, is gone, obliterated, in shambles. The so-called supreme leader can't or won't show his face in public.
Yep, that's true.
He's either dead, injured, or too afraid. One former Clinton official who never voted for Donald Trump and doesn't even support his policies put it this way. It is profoundly disturbing that a growing segment of the far left appears to be almost rooting for Hamas, Hezbollah, the Iranian...
Yeah, that is kind of weird to me that you know what I mean, that the left seems to be doing that. Anyway, I think I've already watched this video, I realized, so I watched it yesterday. So we're going to watch something a little bit different. I got to stop watching the same bullshit. But no, that's just kind of to reiterate that the left is rooting against America, essentially. Like, I understand if you're not for war, I get that. But are you for Iran being the number one state sponsor of terror, for making the Middle East terrible? Mark Sammons is saying, "Can you give 60 seconds of silence for Chuck Norris?" Abso-fucking-lutely, dude. Let me get some Chuck Norris on the board real quick. Hey, let's give a moment of silence for Chuck Norris. Passed away at the age of 86. We'll give a 60-second. Sure. Let's make sure we got the time right. I'll do the best I can to make it 60 seconds, all right? And that was a moment of silence for our boy Chuck Norris. Honestly, one of my favorite martial artists of all time. Incredible human being. I think I could speak for everybody here when I say that Chuck Norris is the GOAT. He is the greatest martial artist of all. Oh, maybe not the greatest of all time, but he was one of the best. You know, watching his movies back in the day, honestly, were kind of inspired. Not just kind of, really inspiring. They always had a really good message. I always felt that Chuck was a wholesome individual. I got nothing but nice things to say about Chuck Norris. He's always been an idol to me. In my opinion, even as an adult, I felt like he was a great role model for even me when I was just kind of in my young adulthood. So watching those movies were great. Mark Salmon says, subscribe, decent person. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you. Nah, Chuck Norris was an amazing human being, man. I love the dude. I think Chuck was great, man. He was a martial arts stud. One of the greats. But let's keep watching. We're going to watch a few things real quick. Oh, shit. President Trump participates in the Commander-in-Chief Trophy ceremony. What?
Thank you very much.
The GOAT,
please.
dude. Greatest president of all time right there, dude.
I want to begin by just saying we're doing extremely well in Iran. The difference between them and us is they had a Navy 2 weeks ago. They have no Navy anymore. It's all at the bottom of...
That is extremely wild to me that just 2 weeks ago, Iran had a not fully, but a functioning Navy. And the United States military was able to shoot down their entire Navy and sink their ships. Let that sink in, folks. Let that sink in. Holy crap. So yeah, no, I think that, Donald Trump is on the right path, man. Trump is the greatest president of all time. I don't care what any of you guys say. By the way, if you guys think that Donald Trump is the greatest president ever, please tap the subscribe button, dude. Let's keep going.
Of the sea, 58 ships knocked down in 2 days, and we have the greatest Navy anywhere in the world. It's not even close. So, but we are doing really well. We're not going to let them have nuclear weapons, because if they had them, they'd use them, and we're not going to let that happen. Should have been done a long time ago by other presidents. So it's an honor to be here. This is fun, and these are great athletes standing behind me, great coaches, general managers, great people, and a great superintendent. Hello, Superintendent. We only put our finest as these superintendents for these great schools because we don't want to have somebody that they don't look up to. We take our best, and they're really amazing. For the second year in a row, it's my great honor to officially present the Commander-in-Chief's Trophy to the one and only Navy midshipman football team with 11 wins and 2 losses, playing the best teams in football. I used to always think of the military services, they played like a little step below. It's not true. They played the big teams and they beat them. These players achieved one of the most impressive seasons in Navy football history and any football history, frankly. And I just want to congratulate the midshipmen. I met them backstage and they're great. Thank you. Congratulations, everybody.
Heck yeah, man. Dude, Trump is really, one thing I will say about Donald Trump is he's really good at giving praise. I think that's also another reason why he's so likable. He's excellent. He does do a lot of smack talk, admittedly. But he's also really good at giving praise, and I think that's extremely underestimated about his abilities. I don't know. Donald Trump's just the man, dude.
When I mentioned the Navy that we just destroyed, I said, Are they good ships? Yeah, they're great ships. Then I said, why didn't we save them? We could have used them ourselves.
Random player, stop gooning, dude. Random player, you gotta stop gooning, bro. You gotta stop gooning, bro.
They said the difference was they didn't know how to use them, right, General? They didn't know how to use them. They had no idea. But I want to recognize Navy Athletic Director Michael Kelly, who has just done an incredible job. Thank you very much. He looks like a Kelly. He's definitely a Kelly, along with head coach Brian Newberry, fantastic coach, Brian. It was off to the second best start for any football coach in school history. What's second? Who's first? It's pretty good. That must have been a Roger Staubach year, maybe, or something, huh? Because I tell you what, I got to watch Roger Staubach, and he was something. He was like, I have to say, I've said it, and some people were insulted by it, but it was like a man playing with children. He would single-handedly win those games. It was incredible. Thanks as well to
Roger Staubach,
your Superintendent, Lieutenant General Michael Borg-Schulte, who is an accomplished Navy linebacker, a very good one, back in the day. We're also pleased to be joined by Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. Now, I don't know if Pete's here because I actually told him he had an option, be in the sit room, you know, the famous situation, or be up here. And if it's okay, I told him, but I think he has two very beautiful sons up here, to the best, Boone and Jackson. Are you two guys? Well, I told your father, just be in the situation room. We're okay with that, right? I think so, right, Coach? Coach, I think you're okay. So Boone and Jackson, someday you'll be on this team maybe, right? Would you be on Navy, Army, Air Force? Which one? Take Navy. Just say Navy, okay. I don't want to get
I love it.
them in trouble. And your father's doing a fantastic job. And also the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Dan Kane. So Dan is unbelievable, and I picked him for a reason because I was told it would take 5 years to beat ISIS by our television generals. You know, there's a big difference between generals, just like there is between coaches and everything else. They said, sir, 5 years, and I went to Iraq because I didn't understand why.
And I got to admit, you know, honestly, with any football team, you know, a good coach matters. Having a good coach matters, man. As critical as I've been of Belichick, saying that Belichick could have never won without Brady, I mean, he could have, but I felt like Brady was the secret sauce to Belichick's success. Sometimes, you know, every good coach needs a good quarterback as well. I mean, there are times that you can win with a mediocre quarterback, don't get me wrong, as long as you have a stellar defense, for example, like the way that the Seattle Seahawks won this year. I like Sam Darnold, but at the same time, I don't think he's an elite enough quarterback to have led us without the defense that we had this year for the Seahawks. I know I'm going off topic a little bit. I'm talking a little bit of football, but I'm really glad that we won the Super Bowl this year. Go Hawks. This team, though, seems pretty dope. I like these guys. They seem pretty cool.
5 years, and I met this general, and his name was Dan Kane. I said, what's your name? He said, Raisin, sir. I said, really, Raisin? What is that? Raisin? Oh, it's just my nickname, sir. What's your last name? Kane. I said, your name's Raisin Kane? I love you. You're the guy I'm looking for. And it turned out to
What a stud.
be right. So they told me it was going to take 4 to 5 years to knock out ISIS. And now I'm in Iraq. I come down, I meet him, some other generals. He was the boss. And I said, how long would it take for you to knock out ISIS?
Oh, you guys, don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow. We're a smaller channel, admittedly. We're at 9,092 subscribers. Once again, we're at 9,092. We're trying to get to 9,100 subs, but at least before the end of the stream, I think we could do it. I think we could pull that off. But yeah, don't forget to hit subscribe, and let's keep watching.
He said, 4 weeks, sir.
Oh, also, before we continue, I want to give a shout-out to some of the people who have subscribed over the last roughly 24 hours. I'm going to put their names up on the board so that way they could get the social recognition they deserve. These are just some of the people, not all the people, but these are some of the people who have subscribed. in the last 24 hours. So let me put their names up on the board. Small Wiener Gang. These are just some of the people, not everybody. Small Wiener Gang. Just showing everybody who subscribed. Nothing crazy. Small Wiener Gang. Let's give a shout out to everybody, man. Thank you guys for subscribing. These are people who subscribed. Appreciate all these people. Small Wiener Gang. Small Wiener Gang. Give me a few seconds, guys. Small Wiener Gang. One more moment. Small Wiener Gang. Random player, I'm not too sure what you're talking about, bro. Small Wiener Gang. But do your thing. Do your thing. I hope you're doing all right, okay, random player? Honestly, I'm hoping that you're healing, hoping you're feeling better, all right? We just want to see you feel better. Small Wiener Gang. We do want to see you feel better. But yeah, those are just some of the people who have subscribed. We're only 8. By the way, we're at 9,092 subs. Small Wiener Gang. We're only 8 subscribers away from hitting 9,100. So like I said, don't forget to tap the subscribe button. It really does help the channel grow. If you guys love Trump as much as I do, please subscribe. If you love JD Vance, subscribe. Just keep going, man.
They said 4 weeks. They tell me 4 years, maybe 5. He said, well, whatever they want, sir. They're the boss. I'm just here. But you can do it in 4 weeks, sir. And you'll have time left over. I said, you got to be kidding. And he explained, and we went through a whole big thing. Well, nobody in this room would be bored by it. Actually, you'd like to hear every word. I tell you every word of it. But bottom line, I said, let me go back. But as I'm leaving, it was very interesting. I'm walking down the stairs, long fight. I had to turn off the lights after spending trillions of dollars. You had to turn the lights off in the plane because you didn't want to be spotted by the enemy. This was something. So we land. And he said, sir, would you like to rest for a while before we have a meeting? I said, I don't have to rest. My name's not Biden. I don't want to. I'm not resting. And we had great meetings. And then I got back on the plane. I said to him, so, General, you say 4 weeks. We mean that, right? 4 weeks, sir, and you'll have time left over. He said, I'll call you on Monday.
That's honestly amazing. That's unreal, dude. Freaking stud, dude. Trump's a total stud. I really believe that, man. I think Trump's the man. I think he's one of the greatest presidents we've ever had. I think he's killing it, man. I really do. Like, I know I glazed Trump quite a bit, but no, I really think he's handling the war in Iran very well. I think the military's handling it not smoothly, but they're executing the game plan really well. Operation Epic Fury is an epic success. I really do believe it's an epic success. I'm usually not one to praise war. I don't like war. I still am not the biggest fan of this war. But I'm not rooting against the U.S. I want the U.S. to topple the Iranian government. The Iranian government is evil. Through and through. The Iranian regime that's currently in office in Iran, they're evil. And I'm okay with them being taken out, to be honest. I don't like seeing people die, but honestly, if they're not... They have the option to surrender, by the way. The Iranian government has the option to surrender, but they won't. They won't. Which is wild to me.
When I get back, And I called him. I said, "You still feel that way, General?" He said, "Yes, sir." And I let him do it. He did it in less than 4 weeks. He defeated ISIS. It was amazing. What a difference. You know, I always say, what a difference the president makes. The border, they said, it can't be done without Congress. It will take years. We did it in about 3 weeks. We have a border that's now 9 months in a row. Nobody's come into our country illegally. I'm not even sure if that could be right. But the Democrats.
That's wild, though, dude. And here's the thing. That's one of the reasons why I voted for Trump, was to close off the border. We got to, you know what I mean? We got to stop allowing fentanyl to come in. We got to stop allowing these illegal drugs to come in. It's ruining our society. And it's all coming from places like Mexico. And I think even maybe, I don't know where in Canada, but somewhere in Canada, probably, allegedly. Look, Mexico, where my grandfather is from, by the way. My grandfather immigrated from Mexico to America, United States. And, you know, he left Mexico for a very good reason. I mean, Mexico is not the best place. It's a beautiful place, but not governed very well. Too many gangs, man. Too many gangs. So, but yeah, make sure you guys tap the subscribe button, though. The more subscribers we get, the better. It does help the channel grow. It helps my you-know-what grow. Let's keep going.
Let's keep the stats. So they say, I mean, they have 0 people came in through our border. You see it, right? And I said, the president makes a big difference. Well, the generals make a big difference, too. But I told him, I said, Dan, if you don't mind, stay in the Situation Room and you watch all those attacks that we're hitting those guys with, and they don't know what's happening. Their Navy's gone, their Air Force is gone, their anti-aircraft is all gone, it's all gone. Their radar is all gone. Their leaders are all gone. The next set of leaders are all gone. And the next set of leaders are mostly gone. And now nobody wants to be a leader over there anymore. We're having a hard time. We want to talk to them, and there's nobody to talk to. We have nobody to talk to.
There's no way to negotiate because Iran's leadership is totally cooked. Iran has no leadership at this point. I mean, if they do, it's very barren, and they've lost complete control of the military, probably. I mean, essentially, the Iranian military may be operating rogue. I think the Iranian military is operating in a rogue status, which is highly possible, by the way. Hey, you guys, we're at 9,094 subscribers. Once again, we're at 9,094 subscribers. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for taking the time to subscribe. We're only 6 subscribers away from hitting the 9,100 subscriber benchmark. Once again, we are 6 subscribers away from hitting 9,100 subs. We're getting closer and closer and closer and closer every day to getting to 10,000 subscribers overall. I think we could, in theory, we could hit 10,000 subscribers or get really, really close to 10,000 subscribers before the end of the month. I think that's a possibility, a real possibility. So I do want to thank each and every one of you guys for supporting this channel and helping out by subscribing in the upper right-hand corner. It really, like I said, it does wonders for the body.
And you know what? We like it that way. And we have many other distinguished members of the United States military, but I want to tell you, Hegseth is doing a great job, and Raising Cane is doing a great job, as good as anybody's ever seen. Don't forget, we had Venezuela. That was the beginning where people started to see the talent. I rebuilt the military and built it, frankly, including Space Force, but I rebuilt the military in my first term. I didn't think I'd be using it this much.
Hold on, my boy Jake is... My boy Jake did a move in chess. Okay, I figured out my move. I figured out the move. Here we go.
But I'm glad I rebuilt it because we can't let these lunatics have nuclear weapons because they were going to use them. They'd use them fast. One of the ways you know that is when this whole thing started, they started shooting missiles all over the Middle East at countries that were basically not involved because they wanted to take over the Middle East. And if they had a nuclear weapon, they would have used it. The only question would have been the first hour or the first day. That's the only question. They would have used it. And if they can use a nuclear weapon, the world would have been in big trouble. We had to stop. It should have been done long ago. I also want to thank FCC Chairman Brendan Carr, perhaps the most powerful man in this room. You are doing some job. He's trying to keep the fake news, he's trying to make the fake news real and respect it again, which is not an easy job, but you're doing a really amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the mainstream media is too cooked. I don't know if you can make the mainstream media tell the truth, man. I don't know if they want to. I really don't believe that they're going to be able to. I mean, the truth and the mainstream media do not go hand in hand. They are not, let's just say they are not, they're not exclusive. They're not mutually exclusive. Now, I don't trust the mainstream media. By the way, if you guys trust the Michael Garza show more than the mainstream media, tap the subscribe button. Look, if you love Donald Trump as much as I do, please tap the subscribe button. Let's go. And by the way, if you love JD Vance, please subscribe. Let's go. JD Vance 2028, baby. Let's go. Let's get it. No, I'm a JD Vance fan, though. I love JD Vance. I want him in 2028. So bad. I think by the time 2028 rolls around, I think Trump will be too old anyway. I love Trump. I think he's doing a hell of a job, but by 2028, man, I think he'll just be too old. He'll just be too old. You know. And I respect him, man. I trust him. I respect him. I don't think he's that bad of a guy. I think the mainstream media has lied about Donald Trump far too many times to the point that I don't trust the mainstream media. So I'm pretty much on the side of Trump at this point, you know. Not for everything, not on everything. I think his love of cryptocurrency is misguided and delusional. I think cryptocurrency is intrinsically worthless. That is something that Donald Trump and I firmly disagree on.
Amazing job. First time that's happened in 25 years. So I congratulate you and everybody in the room. Everybody in this whole country is watching what you're doing, and we appreciate it. When a man can get elected in a landslide, winning think of it, 7 swing states, win them all. We win the popular vote. We win the electoral college by a tremendous amount. We win the counties by 82 or 84%. And I got no good press. Think of it. Only one thing. That only means one thing. These people are not respected. They're just not respected. And we have to have a press that's respected. When you can win an election where they say that I got 94% bad press. Think of it. The other side got 94% good press. When they can get 94% and you win in a landslide, that means the press is not respected. People.
Yeah, it's because nobody trusts the mainstream media. That's why people voted for Trump. If the mainstream media is telling you that Trump is the devil, he's probably an angel. So whatever the mainstream media tells me, I tend to do the opposite because I don't trust the mainstream media. I don't trust CNN. I don't trust Fox News. I don't trust MSNBC, so I don't watch any of them. I don't watch any of them. I don't watch the news in my personal time. The only time I'm exposed to the news is when I'm doing my YouTube live show, the show that I'm doing now. You know, so that's the only time I really know what the hell's going on in the world is when I do this show. Mainly because there's incentive for me to read the news. I'm not a news fan. I hate the news. I bloody hate the news. I think people who read the news in their personal time, I don't think it's smart. I don't think it's good for your health. At least I'm making a little bit of dough doing this. So, I mean, it's like not necessarily a bad thing.
Well, I have no confidence in. So you're doing a fantastic job. Senators Todd Young And Dan Sullivan, great senators.
But I do want to thank you guys for tapping the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. The more subscribers we get, the better. Like I said, we're at 9,094 subscribers. 9,094. We're only 6 subscribers away from hitting 10,000. Sorry, we're only 6 subscribers away from hitting 9,100, which means we will only be 900 subs away at that point. 900 subs away at that point from hitting 10,000. So we're almost to the 10,000 subscriber benchmark, and I couldn't have done it without you guys. You guys make this show happen, so I do want to thank you guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps the channel grow in more ways than you could ever imagine, so thank you guys. Appreciate it.
You may be. You're here someplace. Where are you? Hello, fellas. Good senators. Great guys. And Representatives Ronnie Jackson, White House doctor. He served 3 presidents. He said he had Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of Barack Hussein Obama? You had Obama. I didn't want to talk about Biden, but he said, and you had Bush. You had young Bush, I call him, young Bush. I was not a fan, but that's
Young Bush, baby.
all right. But the press asked him, who was the healthiest of the 3? Doc Ronnie. Stand up, Doc Ronnie. There's a big deal. Took a lot of heat for this. They said, no, most guys would say, well, we don't want to talk about that. They said, who's the healthiest of the 3? He said,
Donald J. fucking Trump, dude, is. That makes sense to me, man. That makes perfect sense to me, dude. Donald Trump is, first off, Donald Trump, for his age, actually does look healthy for his age. As healthy as you could be at that age. You know what I mean? You're still going to have, like, little problems here and there. But I think he's done I think he's done a good job taking care of himself. I mean, he's a stud. We all know Donald Trump's a stud, you know. Let's go. I'll make myself some sliders. I made some sliders for you guys now. For me, mainly for me. You guys can go screw yourselves. Give me a second. Checking all my. All right. Big city sliders, dude. These are like the big cities. Big city sliders, bro. Hi, Billy Mays here with the Big City Slider. Let's go, dude. Big city slider. Let's see what Donald Trump's talking about, bro. Hey, we're only 5 subscribers away from hitting 9,100, so don't forget to subscribe, everybody.
President Donald J. Trump, by far, if he didn't eat junk food, he'd live to 200 years old, he said. And I love this guy, and he then left and he ran. He was an admiral, and he then left, and he was a White House doctor, a very respected one. He saved a lot of lives. He was a great doctor. People don't realize that. And he then left and he said, sir, I'd like to run for Congress. I said, you've never done it before. You won't be able to pull it off. In a very, very all-Trump district, there were 28 people running. Man was retiring. He's been there for years. And I said, Ron, I don't know. It's going to be tough, but we'll try it, right? And we got him in. He blew him away. There was one man that was favored. He was
What
a
a
rhino.
stud, dude.
He was favored to win easily. And we wiped him out, right, Ron? And he's been a congressman. He's one of the most popular people in Congress. But I don't care about that. I just care that he was my
What a stud, dude.
doctor, and he said I'm the healthiest human being he's ever seen. Ronnie, am I healthier than these guys back here? Yes, sir. Oh, thank you. All right. See, this is why I like him. Also with Ronnie is Derek Van Orden, a fantastic guy, and members of the Naval Academy's Board of Visitors. Sean Spicer has gone on to great things, and Walt Nuda. Where's Walt? Walt's become a very famous guy. He works with me, and he does a great job. Great, loyal, incredible person. And Sean Spicer, where's Sean? Where's Sean? Great job. And he's got a very successful television career going. What the hell do I get out of it? Well, you know what I get? Nice statements. That's what I get out of it, right? 100%. It's great. You've done great. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Those are really the people that are very much in charge of making everything work at the Academy. And the other academies, separate groups. A very important position. For the Navy midshipmen, 2025 was truly a season for the ages. You didn't just win the Commander-in-Chief's trophy, you made history as one of the greatest teams to ever wear the proud uniform of Navy football. Some uniform.
Hell yeah. That's crazy.
The teams have gotten so good in the schools that I was able to get, and we're pushing it very hard to make it permanent, a military academy deferment policy. So, because you have some people here, you know, when I went on the field and I threw up a coin, I'm standing next to these guys, they were monsters. I said, look at the size of these guys. I thought they were supposed to be smaller. I thought you had sort of restrictions on size, you know? We got rid of that because some of these guys were extremely large. And we have the NFL teams here also. When whoever wins the Super Bowl, they come. The baseball teams, we had the Dodgers, we have them all. But I saw the size of these guys, so I got used to it. And I said, these guys are as big as the NFL. And at one of the visits a while ago, first term, they asked me, they said, sir, we have a hard time recruiting because a player, if he's really good, he can't do the 4 or 5 years in the military service. Could you would like to do a military academy deferment policy? I immediately knew what he meant. And we got it done. And it allows you to defer your service until after your career. So if you're going to the NFL for 10 years, so now everyone wants to join. So do I get credit for this successful team then? The superintendent's going to say yes. I don't know about Coach. I don't know about Kelly. But the coach, I think, it made your life a little bit easier. It was tough. It was tough for the teams when they used to have to play.
By the way, I just want to let you guys know that I'm the biggest thing on YouTube since Darman. Okay? I am bigger than Darman. Darman has nothing on me. Okay? I can't believe it, man. We're 5 subscribers away from hitting 9,100. 5 subscribers away. So I do want to thank you guys for being so incredible. You guys are the reason this show is wildly successful, by the way. And I want to thank each and every one of you guys. Like I said, we're only 5 subscribers away from hitting 9,100. Pinch me, I must be dreaming. Like, straight up. Pinch me, I must be dreaming. Straight up.
Guys that were twice their size, right? So they did good. They had better heart. They have the best heart in the business, but size does matter. And so what we did is we got that so you have a deferred.
Yep, Ty Lord, we gave a moment of silence to our boy Chuck Norris a little bit ago, and we actually did like a full minute, man. Honestly, I've watched a lot of Chuck Norris movies over my time, and a lot of I love him, man. Chuck Norris is amazing. So yeah, we gave earlier in the show we gave him a 60-second, minute-long moment of silence, just because, you know, he impacted me in a lot of ways, in the sense that he always had a wholesome message in a lot of his movies, which I respect the hell out of, and he's great. Honestly, Chuck is incredible, man. But yeah, it's good to see you, Ty Lord. What a stud.
So a lot of people are able to join now, and they do their service later. They're great patriots, but that would be a lot to ask. And I think it's helped your teams really compete at the highest level. The team was led by your incredible senior class, and that includes the co-captain and star quarterback, Blake Horvath, who is fantastic. Where are you, Blake? You're a player. I was at that game.
Total stud, dude.
He's a player. Yeah, but good everything. You can run it, you can throw it. What do you think? NFL material? Sure. You have no choice. Thank you. Stay up here if you want. Look at this guy. He walks up. Most of them just stay there. Just, you know, they don't want it. Very good. Look at him. I can't get rid of this. I can't stay there if you want. Come on, stay there. He's a quarterback. What the hell? But he ends his...
What a stud, dude. What a stud.
College career is one of...
What a stud, though. I'll have to look at this dude's highlights. I'll have to look at that guy's highlights or something.
The most accurate Navy quarterbacks of all time, with an astounding almost 60% completion rate. Second to
60% completion? Like, seriously. As far as, like, college quarterbacks are concerned, if you got a 60% completion rate, passing rate, that's actually not too bad. That's actually incredible. And that's a big deal. Accuracy as a quarterback really does matter. Now, there's other factors that weigh in on that. You know, you still want to have at least a halfway decent offensive line. You still want to have decent receivers that you're passing to. So there are some quarterbacks where their full potential is not realized because of a poor offensive line or poor running game or poor receiving game, that sort of stuff. So I don't know. He sounds like he's got some good stats, though.
Only to the man we just spoke about, Roger Staubach, who was unbelievable. He was unbelievable. He served 5 years, and then he came in, and came in at like 27 or something, and he was phenomenal as an NFL player. Likewise, senior wide receiver Eli Haydenreich scorched opposing defenses all year long. They've been writing about him, a lot of stories, setting a school record for receiving touchdowns. And you do need a quarterback for that. Where's Eli? Where's Eli? Come here, Eli. Get over here. Look at the size of this guy. Huh?
Real quick, though, I am going to check the markets because I do like to see what's going on in the markets from time to time. Let's see. Well, I'm looking for some interesting buying opportunities in the market. There's a couple. There's always a few here and there that are good opportunities. You guys are going to have to give me a second, though. Yeah, there's not a lot of positions I'm really interested in right now here. I got into the smaller cap stuff. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I did invest a little bit today. I was able to secure a few more positions, and we'll see we'll see how they pan out. I'm one of those guys that I pretty much just swing trade. The portions of my portfolio that are swing traded are strictly going to always be index ETFs that hold a basket full of stocks, preferably small cap ETFs. I have a small cap ETF that I swing trade that's US based, and then I have another small cap ETF that I trade that's international, that has international companies in it. So it's pretty nice. It's always good, man.
They're all saying he's got NFL. Pretty good. I see by the size of those hands you have no trouble catching that ball. Come here. Great. Beautiful. And we're going to bring them down to the Oval Office. Nobody else. We don't have room for none of all these big shots that we have here. None of the senators, none of all these people. We're going to bring them down. We're giving them a special medal, a beautiful medal, a very expensive medal that if I see it on eBay tonight, I'll be extremely upset. All right, so we're going to all march down there later. Congratulations. Thank you very much. That's good. It's very nice that you say that. The whole team is pointing at you. Are you looking to go NFL if you can?
Yes, sir. I'm hoping to.
Okay, good. Good. That's great. I'll bet you make it. So we have Eli and setting all the school records for receiving touchdowns, earning a spot at the NFL Combine, and cementing himself as, without a doubt, the greatest wide receiver in Navy history. That is not bad. Did you do the Combine?
Yes, sir.
How did you find it? Were you impressed by the athletes?
I was, yes, sir.
Were you as good as them?
I like the.
Were you better? They're all saying they like you. They're all saying he's better. Good. I can see it. We're going to watch, okay? We're watching all you guys. And let's not forget one of the strongest athletes the Navy has ever seen. Oh, this is the guy I want to meet. Who was named a first-team All-American. You can't do better than that. On 5 different organizations.
5-team All-American on 5 different organizations? What? What a pimp, dude.
So 5 groups named a first-team All-American. Senior lineman and co-captain Landon Robertson. Where's Landon? Where's... His arm...
Hey, you guys, just as a heads up, and by the way, this guy looks like a stud. This guy looks like he hits the weight room, dude. Like looks like he's got like muscles on muscles, bro. Also, dude, this guy's good. I think this guy's gonna be in the NFL, dude. Right here, this guy right here that Trump is bringing up. This guy's going to the NFL, bro. That guy looks like, I could tell already just by his stature and how built he is. He's going to the NFL. By the way, I can't believe I'm saying this. We're at 9,097 subscribers. Once again, we're at 9,097 subscribers. We are only 3 subscribers away from hitting 9,100. And I want to thank each and every one of you guys for subscribing. You guys are the reason that this channel has grown so much over the years. Just the simple act of subscribing honestly makes everything better. I appreciate you guys. So thank you. If you guys can, please tap the subscribe button. We are a smaller channel, admittedly. So we're trying to reach 10,000 subscribers before the end of the month. I think we could do it. But yeah, we're only 3 subscribers away for hitting 9,100. So if you guys can, hit the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. Let's do it, dude.
Arms are like steel. I just hurt my head. I hit his muscle. It's like steel, man. we're not messing with you. You think I could?
Damn, dude. Damn. Trump's copping a feel, dude. I love it, dude. I love it, man. I dig it. Dude, Trump's the man, dude. No, honestly, look, if you guys love Donald Trump as much as I do, please subscribe. Let's go.
Take him in a fight? Yes. That's like Ronnie. Thank you. Congratulations. That's fantastic. So listen to this about Landon with a 665-pound squat and a
665-pound squat? That's a lot of pounds to squat. Are you kidding me? That guy's a stud. Dude, being able to squat that amount of weight, I'm sure there are probably people out there that could squat more, but that's insane. I don't even think I could squat. I can't squat shit, dude. I'm not a weightlifter by any means necessary. I do like to do push-ups to keep my arms as toned as possible, but that's about the extent of what I do. My God, though, dude. What a stud.
465-pound bench press. What about women playing in men's sports? Think we could have a woman take your position? Is there a woman out there? I don't think so. You know, we're trying to end that. No men. Think of it. No men in women's sports. Maybe I'll put Landon in women's sports for a little while.
Oh, God. Oh, dude, Trump is a total G, by the way. Top G, top G. Trump is a top G. Let's keep going, man.
How ridiculous. I mean, you know, they say that's an 80-20 issue. No. That's a 99% issue. It's amazing.
Yeah, majority of people don't want men in women's sports, period, end of fucking story. Because if you are a biological male and you're participating in women's sports, you have a natural advantage because you produce testosterone. Maybe not as much. I don't know. But there's different bone structure. Like, it's a real thing. So for people not to acknowledge the biological reality is very delusional to me. It absolutely is. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel, though. We're at 9,099 subscribers. We're only 1 subscriber away from hitting 9,100. So please do not forget to tap that subscribe button. Do not forget to tap it. Tap it hard, tap it long. I don't care what you got to do, but please tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. I really appreciate it, you guys. You guys are amazing. Let's keep watching Daddy Trump, dude.
Thank goodness the Democrats keep pushing these things. Open borders, transgender for everybody, and they want to have men playing women's sports. So Landon has some really big records, and he's so strong that the team had to special order a longer barbell. I see, because the barbell would break. That's crazy.
That is wild, dude. They had to actually get a longer barbell just to allow this guy to bench or squat a large amount of pounds. This guy's a stud, dude. I love this kid. I think he's the man, dude. Yeah, if you don't think this guy's the man, I don't know what to say, man. I think he's a stud. Total stud, man.
Is he the strongest one on the team? Is everyone? Huh? No doubt, with all you big, strong guys. Look at this guy at the end. What do you think, Landon? Look at that. He's a big guy. So thank you very much. We have a lot of fun at these things. I hope you. I love sports, and I love athletics, and I love competition. And these guys are champions. But
Le champions, dude. Hell yeah.
Perhaps no single player better represents the heart and soul of this team than your 5'9", 174. I love those guys. those guys that are a little smaller than you're supposed to be, but they have a bigger heart than everybody on the team, right? And the other team, too. 174-pound playmaker who delivered key knockouts and blocks on opponents almost twice his size. Senior Brandon Chapman. Brandon plays selfless.
Let's see. Tiny Lion Gaming says, lol, lefties are already going ballistic. It's way too early, lefties. Yeah. Dude, some of the lefties that are in my chat right now are just going insane. By the way, if you guys are if you guys have leftist fatigue, if you guys are fatigued by the hyperbolic nature of most left-wing people, or at least left-leaning people, please tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. If you're just tired of being honestly told what to do by people that barely know how to run their lives, like the leftists that are in my chat, please tap the subscribe button. If the leftists in the chat have made your guys' lives, well, maybe not miserable, but if they're annoying and they don't make any good points, tap the subscribe button. We're tired of the left. On this channel, we are done with the left. We're going to admit it. We love Donald Trump. We're unapologetic about that, by the way. We love Trump on this channel. And I personally think he's the greatest president of all time, so I don't care what you guys think. No, seriously, I really do think he's the greatest president of all time. One of the greatest. I think Abe Lincoln and George Washington are still the GOATs. But Trump has got to be a solid 3 or 4 in the upper echelon. But yeah, Trump's the man. I'm a huge Trump fan, so make sure you guys tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow. It helps me feel big, you know, in more ways than one. But thank you guys for making this channel as great as it is. Make the Michael Garza Show great again. So don't forget to tap the like button, tap the subscribe button. Let's go.
Relentless football. I got this from his coach. As he likes to say, quote, here's a quote, the way I look at it, the fight's not over until I win. That's it, right? Just keep going. And that's really the spirit of the Navy and our great sailors. Where are you, Brandon? They love them. Boy, I tell you, you don't have players like that. You don't win. You just can't.
You need role players, man. You need guys that can, especially on the defense. You need good role players who can make key tackles in situations that are absolutely needed. Having those types of players really helps in a lot of ways. By the way, we just reached 9,100 subscribers. Once again, we are now at 9,100 subscribers on the Michael Garza Show. We could not have done this without you guys. You are making this channel grow and grow and grow and grow. So thank you guys for taking the time to get us to 9,100. That means we're only 900 subscribers away from reaching 10,000. 900 away from 10,000. Can you believe that? Spear What You Eat says, too bad Vance is already dropping out of 2028? What? Wait, why would JD Vance drop out of the race? That doesn't make any sense. Let me look that up. I bet you're lying to me, man. Let me look this up, man. Let's see. JD Vance 2028. Let's see what the prediction is. Really? Vance hints to allies he may skip presidential run in 2028? Why? No, dude, we need JD Vance. I mean, Marco Rubio could also be a great runner-up, but why would JD Vance lose? The Democrats have, by the way, even if JD Vance lost, at least he tried. You know, you lose if you don't try. If you don't even try to run, you lose by default. And he says Vance hasn't dropped out. He's clearly the front runner. I believe he's the front runner too. That's my opinion. I think what I really want to see is a JD Vance and Marco Rubio ticket. For 2028, JD Vance is the president, Marco Rubio is the vice president. By the way, we just reached 9,100. I can't believe it, man. 9,100 subscribers. So thank you guys. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button. We're still trying to get to 10,000 subs before the end of the month, so it's not over yet. So don't forget to subscribe and scribe as well. Let's keep going, man. JD Vance, dude. Let's keep going.
When you need people like Brandon, and they all have that big heart. It's very tough. When you get into that elite group, when you beat those schools that are big and powerful, it's a pretty amazing thing. This group of winners opposed and opened the 2025 season with 7 straight victories, including a thrilling win over one of your top rivals. It's always tough.
Yeah, we love JD on this channel. We love JD Vance, man.
To Air Force. Coach, Air Force is always tough. What is that? I mean, they're always tough. You beat them, but they always seem to have a good record, and they always seem to do well, right? But no problem with this team, right? What was the score you won by, Coach? Was it a close game or not that close?
I think we won by 3.
1 by 3. You won a couple of close ones, but you won. Doesn't really matter as long as you win, right? So that's great, Coach. But as every Navy football player knows, you don't make it to the White House unless you also triumph over Army on that second Saturday of December, which is the whole deal. I was at that game. It was amazing. It was an amazing game. The spirit. And I have to say, they introduced Trump. The place went crazy. There were no, let's give a little boo. There wasn't a boo in the house. Even the
dude, Trump has top G energy, dude. I'm gonna type that in the chat. Trump has top G energy. He has, love the guy. Yeah, dude, Trump has top G energy. I'm typing that in the chat so you guys understand where I'm standing. Look, Trump's the man, dude. Donald Trump is the GOAT, dude. Greatest president of all time. If you guys can, though, please subscribe to the channel. We're at 9,101 subscribers. Once again, 9,101. So more subscribers we get, the closer we could get to 10,000. We're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers before the end of the month, so every subscriber counts. So I appreciate everybody for taking the time to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. Let's go.
The fake news couldn't say. I've gone to games where I would say I got 97%, but there might be one person, boo, boo. They cover that person, they interview that person becomes a star. But they couldn't find any person at that game. That was some game.
How am I cringe, dude? How am I cringe? Me liking Donald Trump doesn't make me cringe. I think you not liking Donald Trump makes you cringe. Just kidding. You know, anybody can have whatever opinions they want, but honestly, I want to say this. I am rooting for Donald Trump right now in the war in Iran. I think Trump's the man. I think Trump's got this in the bag, dude.
There was some scene in the historic 126 Army-Navy football game, and again, something I really enjoyed. I love being there. I'll be there. Coach, I'll be there. You got to be back, Coach. We can't ever lose you. You'll be back, right? Well, you better be back. Do whatever you do, Kelly. Get him signed, right? Speaking of that, and you get him signed, all right? But you battle back from a 2-score deficit to draw within 6 points in the fourth quarter. I was there. It was looking not great. It was not looking great, fellas.
Man, it's a Tom Brady-esque quarterback, man. Tom Brady-esque comeback right there. So anytime you could pull off a Tom Brady-style comeback, man, that's a good thing.
You know, I can't say I was rooting for you, but I did want to see that commander-in-chief deal. Is a big deal, right? And it only happens if you win, and it wasn't looking great. With time slipping away, Navy mounted one final drive, and you marched downfield, nearing the goal line after running back Alex Tasca broke loose into the secondary, which was amazing, for a huge 24-yard gain. Okay, where's Alex? Where's Alex? I saw Alex before. thank goodness, thank goodness. That was fantastic. I watched that because it was not looking good until you did that. After you did that, the momentum shifted, right, Coach? The coach was saying, I don't know, I got a problem, and then he did that. We all felt good. That's great. Congratulations. That's beautiful. That's amazing. So Alex did his job, and he did a fantastic job. But every football player knows, every single one of them, that you don't have heart, you don't have that. You can have all the strength, like Brandon, you can have all the strength you want, but if you don't have heart, that's exactly what Alex showed, and he's another one that's known for that. Then 3 times the formidable Army defense held the line, and they really held it, making it 4th and goal.
4th and goal, baby, and they found a way in the end zone, dude.
Midshipman. So it's time to do or die, right, Coach? And with 6 minutes and 37 seconds left on the clock, other teams might have kicked an easy field goal, but that's not this, Coach. Coach, did you ever call?
He took a chance, man.
Did you call up the superintendent and talk to him like, what do I do? Or did you just say, let's go for it? I think you said go. I think you just go for it, right, Coach? But not this team with this coach, with the Commander-in-Chief's trophy on the line, which is a big deal. Blake dropped back in the pocket, surveyed the field, delivered a strike across the middle to Eli for a touchdown, and secured victory over Army in one of the most iconic moments in Navy football history. I wouldn't say in Army football history. I guess it was iconic also, but not quite in the same manner. But I watched that. That was incredible. The annual Army-Navy game is truly one of the most special occasions in all of sports, but in recent years, the college football playoff expansion has encroached on this sacred 4-hour time slot traditionally reserved for Army, Navy. So, what did I do? I went out. I don't know if I could have pulled it off. I have much more power.
Hey, thank you guys. We just got another subscriber, by the way. We're at 9th. I can't believe I'm saying this again. 9,102 subscribers, everybody. We're at 9,102 subscribers. We're getting closer and closer to 10,000 subscribers. Small every wiener day.
gang.
Oh, shit. Everybody, let's give a shout out to AME Futo 007. Once again, I think we'll just say Amy Futo 007. I'm going to put your name back up on the board. Let's give a shout out. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Let's
Small wiener gang.
You're now part of the Small Wiener gang. Just kidding. But thank you for subscribing, though. I really do appreciate it, man. But yeah, Donald Trump's the man, dude. Donald Trump's the GOAT, greatest president of all time, bro. I don't care what
Power
anybody
in my
says.
second term, don't you think? What do you think? Would you say, Brendan? Much more power. First term, I don't know if I could have gotten away with this, but what did I do? I went out and said, I'm going to sign an executive order to ensure that the second Saturday in December is preserved exclusively. Nobody's playing football. Not Ohio State against Notre Dame. Not LSU against Alabama. Nobody's going to play football for 4 hours during that very special time of the year in December. It's preserved forever for the Army-Navy game. Now, if you don't want to watch football, you don't have to. But if you want to watch football, you're only watching one game. You're not watching 19 different games, all of them in many ways big. So, Coach, that puts a little pressure because the whole world's going to be watching. So nobody else is going to be allowed. Of course, we'll probably get sued at some point, because we always get sued. But we win those
Dude, Trump is such a stud, dude.
suits, and we'll win this one. The only game that's going to be played, so we preserve that time, no matter who it is. You're playing the Army-Navy game. It keeps it special. We like it, right? Are you okay with it? Huh? And just simply, we don't want other college football games over, playing over us. And frankly, I'd always watch the Army-Navy game anyway, but you don't know. You get some of these games, they're pretty tough, and pretty good, and they're pretty tough. And they'll be able to play, but they'll play after 7 o'clock, I think. We brought it all the way up to 7 o'clock, so that should give you plenty of time, even if you have a little overtime stuff. So it's great. It's just an honor to do because it's such an important tradition of our country. It's beyond football, actually. It's a tradition of our country. In 2 short months, the 28 seniors on this team will be commissioned as officers in the greatest military the world has ever seen. We have the greatest military in the world, the strongest, the greatest, and we're proving that when you can take Venezuela in a matter of minutes, put somebody on a helicopter that was well guarded with thousands of people with iron doors. Those doors were like plastic. The United States Navy, the Marines, the whole military, we have the greatest in the world. I was so proud of what I did, and I always loved Space Force because that was my baby. That has never happened. That hasn't happened in 81 years, a new force, and it hadn't happened. And I think we all agree that Space Force has become, you think, right, very important to the success that we're having even now.
Dude, Space Force is tight, dude. Space Force is tight. Hell yeah. Dude, we are getting closer, and I'm looking at this and I'm just like still amazed. I can't believe we're 899 subscribers away from actually hitting 10,000 subs. This is like freaking me out, bro.
Over the past few weeks, the world has seen the true strength and might of our sailors and aviators as they fought in one of the most complex and successful military operations of all time against the Iranian regime. And it's amazing. It's not, I don't want to get too crazy here. Not a contest. It's not even a contest. They do whatever they want. They can't, they are.
Dude, Trump is such a G, dude. Dude, Trump is a top G. Top G. Top G. I think everybody agrees that Trump is a top G. Am I right? Am I right? Come on, man. Trump is a top G. Top G. We all know that Trump's the man, right? You know that Trump's the man.
They had a lot of great equipment. Russian equipment, Chinese equipment, they had plenty of money. That equipment was useless against us, useless. No force on earth can beat the American sailors or the American military. We're the strongest in the world by far. To those standing behind me who will soon be joining these missions, I say, sail fast, stay strong, and go Navy. And I just want to congratulate again this incredible team on the win of this trophy. It's not often that this trophy gets presented. You have to have a very special year to get it. And I'm going to sign the executive order right now and then invite Coach Newberry up to say...
No, man, they did an incredible job, dude. The fact that they won that game and the fact that they won on a fourth and goal play without even kicking it. They're like, you know what? We're just going to go for it. We're going to shoot a dime right through the middle. Bam, dude. Top G.
A few words and talk about what a great team and what great individuals they are. So, Coach, I'll sign and then you take over, okay? Thank you very much.
Top G. No, Donald Trump's the man, dude, and I know that there's a lot of leftists in the chat right now who are being total chuds. By the way, leftists in the chat that are being total chuds, there are more, let's just say there's more Trump supporters in my chat than there are you guys. I mean, if you guys want to do a strength in numbers contest, look, the left is extremely unpopular. The left is extremely, extremely, extremely unpopular. I'm just going to admit that right now. Nobody likes the left. Nobody likes the left. Period. End of story. I think there are some people who like the left, but people with a functioning brain are tired of the leftist ideologies.
This is not an auto pen. Can you imagine taking it and say, would you please have this signed? Somehow.
Donald Trump's like, hey, can you... Oh, dude, Donald Trump is the man. I love it whenever he does... Dude, I love the auto pen jokes because pretty much the Biden administration was done... All those were signed with auto pen. Joe Biden's legacy is going to be auto pen. The only thing people are going to remember about the Joe Biden presidency is that the auto pen was used quite a bit.
I don't know how they got by that.
Yeah, Donald Trump's the man, by the way. Donald Trump is the greatest of all time.
Didn't work. Let's go.
He's signing. He's signing it, man. He's getting it down, dude. That's a good signature, dude. That's such a good signature, man.
It's a good one.
Dude, that's a
We rate
good
him.
one. No auto
Close
pen
to
needed.
A 10, maybe a 10. See, fellas,
No auto pen required. That's the glory of Donald Trump, man. No auto pen required. He's a stud, dude. Donald Trump is a stud, dude. Donald Trump makes me home. But yeah, Donald Trump's amazing, dude. Christian Medwig, dude. I'm walking, dude. I walk at least an hour a day, dude. Christian Medwig, I walk an hour a day because it's good for me. It helps me out, dude. It helps my mental, my mentality.
pretty good, right? And what I'll do is I'll give these out also.
Always giving away some pens, dude.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Thank you, Mr. President.
We get to hear the coach, baby. Go coach, the GOAT coach right there.
Thank you for signing that executive order and protecting the sanctity of the Army-Navy game. It's a game with a soul, and it deserves to be protected. Thank you very much. Thank you to you and your staff, your gracious hospitality, and for making today's ceremony possible. And thank you to the distinguished guests and everyone in attendance for being here to recognize this team. And this
I will say this, though. Democrats do not live by their own rules. I want to say that very clearly. I want to make it very clear to the leftists in the chat. The Democrats do not live by their own stupid rules. Just saying.
exceptional group of
The Democrats are the purest of the pure hypocrites in the world. I do not bend a knee to the Democrats. If Democrats bully me in the chat, I tell them to F off. I tell them to go F themselves hard.
young men. On behalf of our players, our staff and their families, our superintendent, General Michael Schulte, and our athletic director, Michael Kelly, it is truly an honor to be here. We're grateful and humbled to be back again. As I shared last year, it's been our goal to return to this stage many times during your tenure, Mr. President. There's no higher honor in our program than standing here representing the Naval Academy, the entire brigade of midshipmen, the Brotherhood, and all the men and women who serve and have served in our Navy and Marine Corps. These young men understand that wearing the Navy uniform comes with a responsibility greater than football. Each day they strive to live up to the core values of honor, courage, and commitment, and the standards of those who came before them. Leaders of character who have gone on to serve our country with distinction. What they accomplished this season is a direct result of that ethos and mindset. The players here on stage and to my left in the audience are some of the very best our country has to offer. In just a little over 2 months, these 28 seniors standing behind me will graduate and commission as officers in our Navy and Marine Corps under your command, Mr. President. They will do so with character, discipline, and the values that define this institution. I also want to recognize our fellow service academies, the United States Army and the United States Air Force. The rivalry we share is among the greatest traditions in college football, but it is grounded in deep and enduring respect.
Hell yeah.
Because we know that one day many of these young men may stand shoulder to shoulder in defense of our nation. The Commander-in-Chief's trophy represents the commitment, discipline, teamwork that define the future leaders and warfighters of our armed forces. Every day our players balance the demands of Division I athletics with the responsibility of preparing to serve as officers. That challenge forges the character this trophy represents. In our view, it is the most meaningful and honorable trophy in all of college sports. To our families, alumni, and the countless people who support the Naval Academy, thank you. Your belief in these young men and what this institution stands for.
Oh, by the way, the markets are crashing a little bit further, just as a heads up, which is not a bad thing, by the way. Anytime the markets are crashing, dude, I get sprung. Dude. I love it when the markets crash, yeah.
Makes moments like this possible and special. Mr. President, thank you for hosting us today and for your continued support of the men and women who serve our great country. This time, I'd like to bring our two captains, Landon Robinson and Blake Horvath, up to present you with a couple of gifts.
Great. Thank you.
Dude, Daddy Trump's getting some gifts, bro. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. More subscribers we get, the better it does help the channel grow, so don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help everything become bigger, better, and sexier.
For sure. Well, first, Mr. President, it's just an honor to be here.
This is very heavy.
I know.
Strong neck.
Like you said, well, you're the healthiest guy here, so you got the neck to do it. Yes, sir.
That's amazing. I love it.
So just want to say thank you so much for having us here. Absolute honor. And last year, I was hesitant to say it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, right? Because I knew we'd be back this year. So I'm glad I can now say it's a twice-in-a-lifetime experience. And just couldn't have done it without our whole team here, right? Our support staff, from the strength and the trainers to all these guys and all the guys who are still at school right now in class. Thanks to all of them and just for everybody for support.
I don't know. This guy might go pro, man. He seems like he's a pretty competent quarterback and plays the game well. I don't know how good he is overall, but I'd like to see him in the NFL, man.
And, go Navy, beat everybody.
Absolutely. First off, thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity to be here. Blake said most of it, but I'm just so thankful to all my teammates and all my coaches for all the hard work they've put in. It's very hard to go 11-2 in a season, but I couldn't be more proud to play for Navy football, and I couldn't be more proud to represent the United States Naval Academy. So go Navy, beat Army forever.
We're going to see you at the Oval Office. Now, anybody does not want to go to the Oval, please raise your hand. Okay. I'll see you in the Oval. I had a feeling you were going to do that. Thank you. See you in a couple of...
They're going to the Oval Office, dude. Hell yeah, dude. Let's see if we can get that Oval Office footage. This is amazing. Yeah, so this is crazy, man. I will say, this whole Iran war thing, dude, I mean, the markets are, I'm not going to lie, the markets are down quite a bit. There's a lot of investors panicking. But that's the beauty is, man, when investors are panicking, that's when I'm buying the most. So, like, I do not stop buying, man. I mean, I don't buy, like, I don't put a ton of money down into everything. But I do buy cool, I mean, I won't say. I buy basically a lot of index ETFs and... Oh my God, it's true. JD Vance is actually announcing that he's not running in 2028. Hold on. Don't tell me this is real, dude. Dude, I want JD Vance to run in 2028, dude. I think I speak for everybody here when I say, I think I speak for everybody in the chat when I say I want JD Vance to run for president in 2028 and win the whole damn thing, dude. I want JD Vance to run for president, and I want him to win, dude. Why? Why would we not be... Dude, we should be rooting for JD Vance. JD Vance is the man, dude. Double tap the screen, though, to like the stream if you can. Double tap the screen to like the stream. Let's go.
long been assumed that President Trump would name his heir apparent in J.D. Vance. In fact, J.D. Vance on multiple podcasts have straight up said that Donald Trump is
and have you
bringing
talked to the Secretary Rubio about it?
I've joked with the secretary about it. So the president first raised this with me probably 6 months or so ago,
right?
During just one of our private lunches that we try to get lunch every couple of weeks just to catch up on what's going on. And
so is he not running in 2028? That's scary, man.
And talk about things. He mentioned it probably 6 months or so.
Dude, JD Vance would wipe the floor with everybody. JD Vance is a much better candidate than the majority of anybody running, right? I want to see JD Vance, dude. JD Vance 2028. Let's go, bro. Come on, man. Don't do this to me, JT. Don't do this.
So go. And I mentioned to the secretary in jest, but it feels so premature.
So this is J.D. Vance saying, Donald Trump's already talking to me about running on a joint ticket with Marco Rubio.
You could clear the entire Trump Republican field right now.
Has straight up said, this is the ticket I want.
That the heir apparent to MAGA is J.D. Vance.
Well, I think most likely, in all fairness, he's the vice president. I think Marco is also somebody that maybe would get together with J.D.
The audio doesn't appear to be syncing on this one, so that's something I noticed. The audio doesn't appear to be syncing very well.
In some form. I also think we have incredible people, some of the people on the stage right here. So it's too early, obviously, to talk about it, but certainly he's doing a great job, and he would be probably favored at this point.
Trump saying that a Marco Rubio J.D. Vance ticket would be a favored ticket, and that's where the energy of the MAGA movement is going to be placed. Donald Trump, of course, has still incredibly strong backing by the MAGA movement and has a base that is undeterred. Obviously, they've been through a lot.
Hey, man, I don't think the Iran war threatens his 2028 presidential run. In fact, if anything, I think it strengthens it with the Republican base, in my opinion.
Lot, right? And
just
so much for the MAGA movement is obviously weathered the worst of all political storms and has come back roaring. And so I think that it is going to be strong into 2028 and is going to be unbothered by even some of the biggest ops that I've ever seen in order to break up a political movement in my life. It makes me very, very angry. Anyway, the point is that perhaps J.D. Vance himself has decided that 2028 is not going to be his year. It's very interesting. J.D. Vance rocked by bombshell admission as Iran war threatens 2028 run. Very interesting here. J.D. Vance may not run for president in 2028 elections. Trump war with Iran spirals out of control in the Middle East. Sources close to the vice president told the
Man, we need JD, though, man. We need JD. We need JD Vance, bro.
Post that if the war drags on for months, it could significantly damage the GOP's next nominee. Vance has told his closest advisors that he has not yet decided whether to run in 2028 because of his upcoming child. His wife and him are pregnant. She's due, I think, in the fall, right? A source said Vance's fourth child, due this summer, made him rethink his presidential ambitions. He and Usha want to see how the other baby affects their lives before committing to jumping in on the campaign trail. Vance, who has started his political career as a vocal advocate against prolonged military conflict in the Middle East, is now noticeably quiet as Trump pushes forward with war against Iran. Pressure is mounted on the vice president in recent days following a dramatic resignation of Joe Kent, who was an ally of Vance. Same with Tulsi Gabbard, allies of Vance. And you're starting to see sort of like the fracturing and the breaking off of the anti-war.
Mega is crumbling right before our eyes, everybody. This is sad, dude. I don't think it's crumbling completely, but, JD, I don't know, man. I want to see JD in 2028, but, if his heart's not in it, man, then maybe Marco Rubio 2028. I don't know, man. Crazy. Flippin' wild, man.
contingency from President Trump over this. You're starting to just see the frictions. That's all. You know, J.D. Vance, somebody who served in war himself, obviously a combat veteran, Marine. Same with Joe Kent. Same with Tulsi Gabbard. They seemingly have different takes on this, and you can sort of see like the bits of friction with President Trump and with J.D. Vance at the White House this week. Before the Kent announcement, which was publicly criticized by Trump, Vance tried to persuade him not to turn his departure into a public feud. The effort failed. Here's Trump
Mr. Vice President, Democrats are
at the White House this week.
The fraud czar. What's your reaction to that title? And then second,
Good time.
Second, given your past skepticism of foreign adventurism, are you completely on board with the current war in Iran?
So I like fraud czar. It's certainly what we're going to do. And look, we have to do it. As the president said, this is a problem that has festered in this country for far too long, and far too few people have actually wanted to do anything about it. That's what makes this administration different, is that we actually tackle the problems the American people have been confronting. So I'm very happy about it. And look, I think that I know what you're trying to do, Phil. You're trying to drive a wedge between members of the administration, between me and the president.
So you guys have heard the rumors about Benny Johnson, right? I'm not going to say what those rumors are because Benny Johnson looks like the kind of person who would, but you know the rumors about Benny Johnson, that he's a little,
The president said consistently, going back to 2015, and I agreed with him, is that Iran should not have a nuclear weapon. We have taken this military action under the president's leadership. I think all of us, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, should pray for its success and pray for the safety of our troops. That's the approach that I've taken. Make it as successful.
I think J.D. Vance wants to see this war end quickly. I think Donald Trump wants to see this war end quickly. I think everybody does. And I think it's going to be over quickly. The U.S. does not want to spend any more time than they have to in the Middle East, in Iran, right? I don't know. Let's see what's happening.
Possible.
So there's no hesitation, given your past statements, with the current operation?
What do you mean there's no hesitation with my past statements?
Given your skepticism of foreign adventurism, you were a critic of the global war on terror previously.
Well, I think one big difference, Phil, is that we have a smart president, whereas in the past we've had dumb presidents. And I trust President Trump to get the job done, to do a good job for the American people, and to make sure that the mistakes of the past aren't repeated. Absolutely.
Thanks, sir.
So you can obviously see there's a bit of, you can tell there's a little tinge of frustration there. And then J.D. Vance went on the road this week. He went to Michigan, and he did a roundtable in Michigan where he took some questions. And he got visibly concerned about the answers here, or the questions here about gas prices, obviously critical in the state of Michigan, of all places. And you can see J.D. Vance kind of frustrated at the derailment of the domestic policies, making lives better for Americans, gas prices, food prices, inflation.
Look, the rise in gas prices, the rise in everything temporarily is because of the result of the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. If the Strait of Hormuz was not closed, this would not be a problem. Now, the goal should be to try to eliminate Iranian forces from laying mines in the water, from shooting missiles from the shore, those sorts of things. So it does matter. Let's keep going. Make sure you guys tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It really does help the channel grow. We're at 9,103 subscribers. We're trying to get to 9,200 by the end of the day. We're seeing if it's possible, but we're at 9,103 subs. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you love Donald Trump, just subscribe, man. Subscribe if you love Donald Trump. Hell yeah.
Prices, home prices. These are the kind of things that win elections. And J.D. Vance,
gas prices down,
a little frustrated here at this question.
Well, the President of the United States is
frustrated at the issue.
Clear about this. Look, gas prices are up, and we know they're up, and we know that people are hurting because of it, and we're doing everything that we can to ensure that they stay lower. I will say, the president said this, and I certainly agree with it. This is a temporary blip. Okay, what happened under the Biden administration is the gas prices were high.
Hey, we just got 2 more subscribers. We're at 9,105 subs. We're at 9,105 subs. We're only 95 subscribers away from hitting 9,200. Let's go, bro.
For 4 years. gas prices are higher right
But don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
now. And frankly, they're not even as high as they were during certain parts of the Biden administration because of what's going on in the Middle East. It's not going to last forever. We're going to take care of business. We're going to come back home. And when that happens,
Yeah, the gas prices are going up quite a bit right now. Actually, if I were to check the Chevron app, because I only go to Chevron gas, the reason I use Chevron gas is because I like consistency in the gas that I purchase. But they also have the Techron additive in their gasoline, which is really nice. It helps keep the engine very clean over time. Let's see, Chevron. What is the local? Give me a few seconds, you guys. Sorry about that. Fuel. Oh, stores. Here we go. What are the gas prices? Hold on, I just gotta look up gas near me. What are the gas prices near me? That'll be a good one. Chrome. Where are you at, Chrome? Gas prices near me. We're gonna see what the gas prices are looking like. How big are they? So in my area, VP Racing Fuels is at $4.66 per gallon. Fred Meyer Fuel Center is $4.70. Give me a moment though. Exxon Mobil is $4.60 per gallon. The Bayshore. Oh wow. The Bayshore station, the Bayshore gas station, is $5.02 per gallon. And that's for regular, by the way. This is all for regular. The Shell gas station's at $4.96 per gallon regular. This is all on the coast of Oregon, by the way. 76 gas station is $4.60 per gallon. Chevron in North Bend is $4.96. Chevron $4.90. Yeah, so a lot of the gas prices are we're pretty much at $5 per gallon gas at this time. So it's a bit of a big deal, it's a big deal. And sometimes it's just the way it is, man. We're winning though. We're winning. This is what dreams are made of. But no, I think that honestly, Donald Trump's doing the right thing. Look, the Strait of Hormuz is going to open up very soon. I believe the war is going to end on March 31st. That is my belief. Let's keep watching.
happens, you're going to see energy prices come back down to reality. But in the meantime, we got.
So, I mean, again, you can see JD Vance there, kind of in a frustrating way. I mean, listen, we've had we've had private conversations with JD Vance and his team. We've traveled with them. Just asking like where's your strategy going? Like what is your team doing? We're close with them. We communicate with them pretty regularly, right? This is what we do. They push for domestic policies. Like that was what 2026 was going to be. It was the year of like really solving and cracking down on inflation and gas prices and everything. And so it's got to be frustrating that this is like undoing that, right? I think that's where they thought that this was going to go.
Yeah.
And so I think it kind of makes like a lot of sense that JD Vance would be frustrated here.
Yeah, I mean, I get why JD Vance.
Obviously,
I understand why JD Vance is frustrated. I mean, it makes sense because he is an anti-war guy. And I'm not holding that against him or anything. But, I mean, I hope he can see the long-term benefits of a weakened Iran. I hope that most people can see the benefits of a weakened Iran and how that will help the Middle East more than anything. Because the problem is Iran has been a bully in the Middle East for so long, and they've made people's lives hell. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's frustrating to me that people don't see, that people can't see the forest from the trees on this one. And that's the way I see it, man. I just feel like people just don't see the forest from the trees, and I don't know. What do you guys think, though? Do you guys think that J.D. Vance should run for presidency in 2028, or do you think he should just step aside and let Marco Rubio take the reins, man, for 2028? I don't know. I want to see J.D. Vance run in 2028, man. I really do. It's too early to call, though. I mean, we're nowhere near 2028. Well, we're getting closer, but look, Donald Trump has been a huge part of this channel. He's been one of the main reasons, in my opinion, that my channel has grown at the rate that it's grown. So I do want to thank you, Donald Trump, for making this channel. Honestly, Donald Trump helped make the Michael Garza show great again in a lot of ways. So I want to thank you, brother. I appreciate you for making this show great. And to everybody out there, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really does help us grow. We're so close to 10,000 subscribers. It's crazy. But yeah, we're at 9,105 subs. We're only 95 subscribers away from hitting 9,200, and we just get closer and closer and closer to our goal every day. So I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for subscribing to the channel. I really do. I want to thank each and every one of you guys. You guys have been amazing. So thank you for subscribing, man. I appreciate you.
If you are wanting to continue the MAGA movement and you're wanting to say you're America first, then you've got to fix these problems for America. And if you want to have a political future, they have to be fixed. J.D. Vance, described as frontrunner in 2028, is reportedly reconsidering a presidential run entirely. Republicans point to less personal factors, including uneven early polling, growing donor interest in alternatives such as Marco Rubio. Strategists warn that entering a competitive primary, especially following a general election loss, could damage Vance's standing with the party and weaken his claim for any future leadership. So now this is all over that Vance's fourth child due to the summer might make his family a priority, and that he's, not sure. The polling markets say Marco is actually the one on the rise. You can see.
Marco Rubio, man. Rubio is on the rise, dude.
I mean, a pretty exponential jump here for Marco Rubio, who's performed, I think, admirably, frankly. Will Trump endorse J.D. Vance for president before 2027? Now there's a collapse in that chance. Obviously, everyone's been really impressed with Marco Rubio. Vance is only 40.
No, I love Marco Rubio, but I still think that Vance is the guy. I still think that J.D. Vance is your guy, and I really do hope he runs in 2028, man. Anyway, let's take a look at this. So, Iranian regime is brainwashing the entire
Iranian-American
country.
Actor, model, and producer Sam Asghari, who was born in Tehran and lived there until he was 12 years old. Sam, we were just talking in the break. Sadly, you're not surprised they killed this 19-year-old and his friends.
I'm absolutely not surprised by the typical behavior of the Islamic Republic revolution. This is what they've been doing. This is their identity. And this is what there happens to be happening every single time there has been an uprising. And this is not something that we're just seeing now. I mean, we are seeing this in the Western side, but this has been happening throughout the history of this Islamic Republic.
Dude, the sooner the Iranian government topples, the better. The sooner this evil regime... The sooner this evil regime crumbles, the better it is for Iran.
And the reason why we're seeing it now is because we are paying attention to it, and finally the mainstream media is paying attention to it. But that's something that they've just been doing for years to be able to keep the country oppressed and to shut anybody that has anything to say about the regime.
So right now the internet shut down, and it's the longest period the internet's been shut down that we know of in Iran's history. Is that part of the reason we have not seen the uprising, or there are other reasons?
I mean, the uprising has always happened throughout the last 47 years of this. The Iranian people are sick and tired of being associated with the government. They want nothing to do with this government whatsoever. And finally, we are seeing them at their weakest point, as not to mention, not just this regime, but any regime seems to be the strongest, and they seems to be cracking down the most when they're the second away from being the weakest and being overthrown. So I'm anticipating this regime to be gone, as we're seeing all their heads of governments being eliminated by the United States military. But it is a complicated regime, as anybody could be a besieged force, and the IRGC, so they do have checkpoints. And
I don't know, the Iranian government's so evil, in my opinion. So fucking evil. That's the way I see it, dude. I call a spade on that one. The Iranian, the regime that's currently running Iran, evil. Evil, evil, evil. Needs to go to hell.
The checkpoints are also being hit, and there is a crown prince, Prince Reza Pahlavi, which is the opposition, and he has the respect of many people in Iran, and they are waiting for his orders. They are waiting for America's orders, and also Israel, in order to uprise when it's safe and when the regime is no longer able to go out on the streets and use AK-47s and weapons of war to shoot down people, just like they did last month, and they killed over 40,000 people in just 2 days.
Right. It looks like there's some panic among the higher up, among the government, because there's been so many high-profile assassinations, and there should be. They're all hiding in different places. But in terms of the besiege on the street, the plainclothes Gestapo that is killing and warning people, if you step out, you're going to be in trouble. How damaged are they? Do you have a sense of how much of that security force is still around?
Are you talking damage mentally? Because they're extremely damaged mentally.
Well, how depleted are they? How depleted is their force?
They are definitely depleted. They are confused. They don't know who their leader is, if there is a leader or not, if the leader is even in contact with anybody else, if there is fights between them of taking who's going to be the next person in power. And there's definitely a fear. They know what America is capable of. They know that they've lost the patriotism within their own people. Nobody wants.
Yeah, the Iranian people are done with the regime. The Iranian people are completely done with the regime, and anybody who's pretending to support the regime in Iran, they're pretending because they don't want to be executed. That's just all there is to it. They're afraid, and who wouldn't be afraid of getting executed? I mean, this regime has killed not millions, but thousands of its own people, innocent people, who are protesting a shitty regime. By the way, Iran has a shitty regime, and I support the Iranian people in their efforts to tear down this dictatorship that is rotting all of Iran. I stand with you guys, man. I stand with you guys in solidarity, bro.
Anything to do with them, and they know they're losing their control, so that's why they're cracking down, and that's why they're persecuting all the protesters and anybody that comes down and speak on behalf of the people. So they don't want any of that. That's why we see the public execution of the 19-year-old Olympian champion, because they know how influential that person was, and not only that, is anybody that's going to be influential.
They're just going to make this kid a martyr. If anything, I am deeply saddened to hear that a 19-year-old kid who was wrestling, who opposed the Iranian government. How fucked up is that, dude? If you live in a country where you get killed for protesting a government, that is a government that deserves to be toppled down to the fucking ground. I hate the Iranian government more than anything. I don't even like the government's philosophy there in Iran. But no, I'm a huge fan of what Donald Trump is doing, man. Not gonna lie.
They're going to crack down because they are so weak.
And Sam, real quick, what percentage is in support of what's left of that government, roughly in your estimation?
There's always going to be fashionist people that support the government, and they've done such a good job of brainwashing, the whole entire country within their school system. I mean, growing up there, I noticed everything was brainwashing when going to school, going out to the streets and seeing propaganda of the Islamic Republic and shutting down the internet and feeding wrong information to their own people and showing what's called a fake news. They have fake news, and they use AI videos of showing them destroying the American warships and everything that we have there, which is extremely false news, and that's something that they want to show. But the people are no longer stupid, and they are paying attention to that. So they're not fooling anybody.
Hopefully. Thanks so much, Sam. I appreciate it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley.
Crazy shit, man. Crazy shit. Whew. I don't even know anymore, man. Let's see. Trump urges an end. So this is a Fox Business clip. Trump urges an end to energy infrastructure attacks. The Big Money Show.
Okay. Their Navy's gone. Their Air Force is gone. Their anti-aircraft is all gone. It's all gone. Their radar is all gone. Their leaders are all gone. The next set of leaders are all gone. And the next set of leaders are mostly gone. And now nobody wants to leader over there anymore. We're having a hard time. We want to talk to them, and there's nobody to talk to. We have nobody to talk to. And you know what? We like it that way.
Oil prices heading higher as the U.S. pushes to open up the Strait of Hormuz, and the White House eyes emergency action to lower gas prices. Welcome to the Big Money Show. I'm Taylor Riggs, along with my co-hosts Marcus Lemonis, Brian Brennan.
The Big Money Show. Hell yeah.
Jackie DeAngelis. And with us for the hour, Fox Business's Lauren Simonetti. Great to have you.
Good to see you guys.
So Israel agrees to not strike Iran's gas fields after President Trump said stop attacking critical energy infrastructure. Meanwhile, Iran, though, keeping up strikes on the Gulf states, hitting Kuwait's largest oil refinery. To keep costs under control, the Trump administration is planning releases from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve over the next few months, and the White House unsanctioning Iran's oil.
Most of that oil will be absorbed in the next 30 to 45 days. So yeah, what we have is an interruption of flows outside of the Persian Gulf. We've got over 100 million barrels in crude tankers that's on its way or floating, waiting to unload in China. That oil is already going to be sold. It's going to show up in China. So this is a way to let those barrels flow into, India or Vietnam or Indonesia, somewhere else where those barrels will get refined and supply the products needed in Asia.
Hell yeah. I mean, that sounds like a good thing to me. It doesn't sound like necessarily a bad thing, Shit, Everybody's making such a big deal about this, and honestly, there's a lot of people that like to be hyperbolic out there. A lot of hyperbolic people in the world. And it doesn't shock me in any way, shape, or form. Oh shit, silver's dropping even further. There we go. I bought a little more silver. Just a little bit. Wee bit. 61.86 per share, dude. Keep dropping silver. Dude, I love it when silver drops. Because when silver drops hard, dude, it's usually it's a good buying opportunity, man. It's not financial advice, by the way. But no, I just enjoy a good silver dip, and damn, dude. Markets are crashing hard. It's a market crash out, bro. Yeah, and I think the markets are going to keep crashing for a bit. It doesn't shock me in any way, shape, or form. Let's see. Kroger's only down a little bit. Yeah, man, I got to admit, it's just wild. I can't believe how red the markets are, man. Everybody's bearish right now. Everybody. And it makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of pessimism right now in the markets, and I mean, so it makes a little bit of sense that everybody's like super duper pessimistic and, you know, freaking the hell out, and you know, it's just, that's the nature of the market from time to time. Let's see what else we got here. Damn, it's just wild how red the market is today, man. Intel's down. Oh wow, Intel's down. Okay. Yeah, everything is just down. Flipping wild, man. That's just all there is to it. Yeah, I'm just stunned at how hard the market is being hit right now. This is, to be honest, not the most surprising thing I've ever seen, but damn, dude, holy crap. I mean, like, I'm buying the dip, which is good, but geez, this is just... This is on another level of insanity right now. Damn, dude. So I'm buying a little more small cap stuff here. Just kind of racking up on a few things, so.
Right. If we're doing unsanctioning Iran's oil, Jackie, you know I'm coming to you first on this. So help me to make sense, because some people say, okay, we're using Iran's oil against them, basically taking out the leverage. I tend to...
ET is wanting a bathroom tour? ET, what are you talking about, bro? You want a bath... Oh,
ETRN7CH says, can you give us a bathroom tour?
No, ET, I'm not doing it, bro. I'm not doing it, man. I'm not doing it.
Real Garza says, subscribe.
Yeah, no, I am definitely... that is one thing I will say that I'm doing right now. I am buying up the... there's a few indexes right now that I'm buying up in perpetuity here. Oh, wow. Silver just goes down, and it's going down and down and down, man. I do want to see how far silver goes down, though. Silver is extremely volatile, by the way. Are people shorting silver, though? That's the thing. There's a little bit of short interest, it looks like, in silver, but not that much. It's funny, there was a lot of short interest in silver in February, but in March it seems like the short interest is really low. And then if we look at the small cap ETFs, the short interest seems to be going up a little bit, but not by much. Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of these are going to maintain their value. That's just what I believe. But man, we are in a huge, it feels like a huge bear market at the moment. But yeah, even the VT, by the way, even the Vanguard Total World Index is down for the count today. VT's down. This is down. Yeah, everything's just crumbling, man. A moment. Well, we'll see how well the markets end up doing, man. But yeah, this is just... I'm just blown away. Everything's getting knocked down. Everything. Cray, man. But yeah, no, it's been a really good time to buy. Just selling. Nah, dude. Honestly, it's looking good. Even if the markets were to crash even further than what they are, I mean, they could. I mean... The markets are being absolutely shaken right now. Like, it's insane. Silver's down. Let's see. Like, it's just wild how many things are down currently. I'm trying to find, like, one that's actually up, which is... Well, looks like Comcast is up slightly. That's wild. But yeah, everything's in red. Yeah, luckily I swing trade indexes, though. I mean, luckily I swing trade indexes like a maniac, so I've got a lot of... Let's just say I'm heavily diversified, thank goodness. But yeah, this is wild, man. This is a wild thing to witness, bro. Well, shit. Well, you guys want to be part of the small wiener gang? That's what I thought. But yeah, thank you guys for tapping the subscribe button, though. The more subscribers we get, the better. It does help the channel grow in more ways than one. Let's keep going, man. Keep going. Let's keep growing.
To look at this and be like, wait a minute, we're unsanctioning the people that we're fighting, and then they're going to get the revenue from the oil that we're unsanctioning. How does this make sense? Help me to understand.
Well, the oil is already out at sea, so it's out there. They're going to get some revenue for it. Yes, you unsanction it, and they're going to get, potentially a little bit more revenue as a result of it. But that's a drop in the bucket right now. When you think back to the Biden administration.
Well, truth is, we want to try to lower the oil prices, and if we can lower oil prices, I mean, if this is the only route to take, then if it's the only route to take, and even if it's an undesirable one, but it provides the desired outcome, then fuck it, why not?
The Obama administration, the billions of dollars in revenue that they gave them, and the situation they created around oil where the enemies could buy that oil, not enforcing sanctions, and they essentially funded all of this chaos that's happening right now. So I don't think the administration is that worried about unsanctioning this oil, and it could help the flow in the short term. But, we've been talking talking about duration, and duration is the crucial aspect of this, whether it comes to the Strait or oil prices in general. The latest reporting shows that the military operations are going so well. The Israelis and the Americans have started in sort of setting up what is the next phase of this operation, which I think is really, really positive. Benjamin Hall reporting on Fox that they're going after on the ground the police and the militia, the ones that are killing the people.
Okay, that's
that
good.
Executed the athlete just this week. And so
Yeah, dude, when I heard that they executed a 19-year-old wrestler for being outspoken against the Iranian government, I was like, just take down the entire Iranian government at this point. Just destroy the Iranian government. Terrible. Absolutely terrible, man. Oop. But we'll see what the result ends up being.
So they're sort of trying to set the stage for the people because they think the timing is right now on the military operations side for the people to be able to rise up and throw this regime overboard. When President Trump says to Israel, stop hitting the critical oil infrastructure, I think that's very important. Again, he's not doing this to give the regime an advantage in any way, but he does want something to be left there in the country. Remember, there's been a lot of destruction right now. He wants them to be able to have an opportunity to not have to struggle to rebuild so quickly, and oil will be the new regime and the people's source of revenue.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just am floored by the whole operation, the strategic aspect of it, how they've executed it so flawlessly. I've always said since this started, you could have that black swan day where something happens that you haven't expected, but we really haven't had that. And seeing them go into that ground phase of trying to set the stage for the people to have their moment, to me is incredibly inspiring and uplifting.
Lauren, yesterday I announced that I am Wednesday's child full of woe. And I see more woe out there today. I'm looking at a 2-year yield that's above 3.9, the highest since July. A 10-year yield near 4.4, the highest in 8 months. And the scariest thing is because that 2-year yield is closing in on 3.9, there's a 50% chance of traders pricing in a rate hike. Not even a pause, not
A rate hike. That would be kind of crazy.
a cut, but a hike.
I don't know. I think there's going to be a rate pause for a while. I don't think rates are going to lower or higher, or they're not going to go higher or lower for a while. So I think I'm not pricing in a higher yield rate. I think investors are just panicking. I think this is just pure fear. I think it's fear. I think investors are panicking. They're going crazy. Can you blame investors for going a little bit insane? No, you really can't, because it's like we're kind of in an interesting spot. So I don't know. We'll see where this all goes. Yeah, this is wild, man. But we'll see. I mean, I think we'll see a market rebound sooner rather than later, of course. And we'll see what happens, man. We shall see what happens overall. Let's keep watching this.
So the bond market, the rate at which we've gotten here, 12 basis points on the day, makes me nervous that underneath the surface, is there sort of an inflationary thing and then a slower growth issue on the horizon? That's why you have equities down lower. How do you sort of read all of this?
And when would that hike come? The market is saying October. What happens in November?
I know.
So we've got some big issues.
Wait, so Warsh is going to hike, Warsh Fed's going to hike rates?
Well,
that's what we think?
I don't think,
should there be a
I mean, they could end up high. Here's the thing. I don't know what the Fed's ever going to do. The Fed is very unpredictable. The Federal Reserve can raise rates. They can lower rates. It all depends on kind of their mood, unfortunately. But we'll see what the result ends up being, man.
there are 12 votes, Brian. Warsh doesn't have the sole vote.
Okay.
we have gas right now at $3.91 a gallon, which means we're knocking on the door of $4 a gallon. It could happen next week. It could not happen. The administration is doing everything they can, working with every party.
I will say, though, that once the Strait of Hormuz is opened back up, I do think that the markets are going to go on a crazy run. There should be, and I think, honestly, what we're seeing is a fake bear run. This is my opinion. A fake one. And luckily, I'm really heavily diversified across international and U.S.-based equities as far as index funds go. But it's going to be interesting to see where this all leads. It's going to be very, very interesting. I don't know what the result's going to be, to be honest. I think silver is going to be in high demand, in my opinion. But I do think that markets are going to rebound, because what's going to happen is I think there's going to be more good news coming in every single day. I think there's going to be a lot of good news coming in every single day. It's going to take a bit, for sure. But it's going to take time. It's going to take time. But no, I think we're on the right path. And look, I'm an investor. At the end of the day, I'm a long-term investor, but I'm also a swing trader. Admittedly, I do swing trade. But yeah, from what I'm able to tell, I mean, everything seems like it's on the right path, man. So, I don't know. But yeah, it makes sense to me. I mean, like, markets got hit hard today. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, I think once the Strait of Hormuz is open back up, I do believe that'll actually play a factor in all the markets going back to normal. But other than that, I was able to buy a few indexes today at lower prices, which is good. Which honestly helps me out a lot. Buying the dip is always a good thing. Anytime, Warren Buffett said it best, if everybody's extremely fearful, that is honestly the best time to buy. And and that's pretty much when I buy. So I bought a lot of indexes, not too many. I still got quite a few dollars sitting around.
To make sure that we contain the price of oil. Newt Gingrich was just talking to Stuart Varney, and he said, look, oil's going back to $60 to $70 a barrel around summer, around June. But June's still a ways off. You're shaking your head.
Way.
But that's the hope. They need to do whatever. Otherwise, we're paying $4 a gallon, and that is politically unpopular.
It's politically unpopular.
There's also
So yeah, as long as they secure the strait, man, I mean, that's really the key.
Recession right now. Yeah. That I'm hearing here and there, and the odds of this. So yes, this is all very disheartening. But how long will this conflict last? And is the U.S. with our allies in Israel? And
all right, you guys, I will say this, though. I am going to call it quits for the moment. I do want to thank everybody for taking the time to subscribe today. You guys made the channel a lot better, as always. I'm probably going to be streaming a little bit later today. I might even do an outdoor stream. I'm actually contemplating it. But we'll see what's happening. But yeah, the markets are down across the board. In fact, if I look at the S&P 500, for example, actually, let's look up the VTI. Let's see. Like, for instance, the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund is down 1.66% today. And then if we type in S&P, they're at S&P 500's at 1.58% down. I mean, look, this is bound to happen. I'm kind of curious what the REIT market. Like, let's see. Like VNQ, for example. If we look at VNQ, I will admit I do have a lot of real estate investment trusts, admittedly, so that actually did kind of put a damper on my portfolio a little bit. Not a crazy one, but yeah, I got a lot of real estate investment trusts. I'll say that. It was kind of crazy, man. I didn't expect the VNQ to get hit so hard. That was wild. But yeah. Anyway, though, I do want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this show today. Make sure you tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow, as you all know. But yeah, I'm still contemplating whether I want to do a show later on today. I'm still contemplating. But thank you guys for taking the time to watch this, and have an incredible day. Bye.
And in the Middle East.
Later, everybody.